The enigma of success has troubled mankind since time immemorial. What distinguishes those who climb to the top from those who remain at the bottom? Perhaps the key lies in the simplest, and at the same time the most complex tool: language. There is a theory that the words we speak have a hidden power to shape our lives. A careful study of this question can lead to unexpected discoveries. What is so special about words, and how do they affect our reality? Unraveling this mystery could change the way you view the world. Don't miss the opportunity to discover how language shapes thoughts, beliefs, and even physical well-being. As children, many played secrets by entrusting cherished objects to the earth and whispering magic words over them. This childhood belief in the power of words is not as naive as it may seem. Perhaps intuitively we felt that words could influence reality by emitting certain vibrations. This concept is reflected in adult life as well, dividing people into two types. Some use words as building material, constructing their reality brick by brick. Others waste words without giving them meaning. Some create a world filled with joy and abundance, while others attract negativity with constant complaining. Which category do you fall into? According to the Gospel of John, in the beginning of all things was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This eternal truth emphasizes the paramount importance of language in the formation of creation. Although we cannot create a new universe through speech, we certainly construct our own reality by delineating its horizons and setting its limits. Choosing words is like choosing the ingredients for a culinary masterpiece. The quality of the ingredients determines whether you get an exquisite delicacy or an unappetizing concoction. Like spices, the statements "I am capable," "I am worthy," "I receive everything easily and joyfully enrich life." These valuable ingredients transform existence into a true celebration. Neil Donald Walsh wisely observed, "Life is not created by words, but by actions, but actions are born from words." This thought leads us to realize that the language we have learned from childhood may not be as harmless as it seems. Some words and phrases, like invisible barriers, limit our potential. What language constructions, on the contrary, attract success and prosperity? Therein lies the hidden code of our words. Consider, for example, the word happiness. Listen carefully. With happiness, as if it is found with a part of the whole, with something else. But true happiness is not waiting for us somewhere in the future. It is present, here and now. Happiness is the enjoyment of the present moment, harmony with oneself and the world around us. Consider, for example, the word love. If we try to decipher its etymology, we can get a curious interpretation. People of God know God. Love is a state when a person realizes the divine beginning both in himself and in others. The idea that coming to this world is conditioned by the desire to recognize love in all its multifacetedness and fullness of manifestations is surprisingly attractive. And the main task of life is to learn to exist guided by love for oneself, for one's neighbors, and for the whole world. And now, let us turn to the concept of work. Often, this word is associated with hard, exhausting labor, with something forced and obligatory. However, if we look at the essence of this phenomenon more deeply, work is revealed as an opportunity for self-realization, revealing one's talent and potential. It is work that is the radiance of God, creation in action. That is why it is so important to find an occupation that brings satisfaction and joy, to find one's purpose, one's place in this world. Another key word to think about is universe. The universe is a single, harmonious system of all things, of all objects inhabiting it. Having felt this interconnection, this integrity, a person comes to realize that he is an integral part of this grandiose picture of the universe. John Kehoe claimed, "The subconscious mind does not argue. It accepts your thoughts and words at face value." By saying certain words, A person activates certain programs in his subconscious mind, and it is these programs, like architects, that shape his reality. Let's go deeper into the essence of the concepts of intention and action. Intention can be visualized as a mental message directed into the future, a kind of energetic impulse. Action is what materializes this impulse, gives it form in the physical world, turns it from an idea into reality. Without the guiding force of intention, actions are chaotic and meaningless, like a ship without a rudder. And without realization in action, intentions remain ephemeral dreams, like mirages in the desert. Realizing the deep connection between these two concepts is the first step on the way to consciously shaping one's own life. Now, let us turn to ancient beliefs. Our ancestors attributed magic power to words, using them to create spells. And there is a rational grain in this belief. What is a spell? It is a specially selected sequence of words spoken with a certain intention. And as we already know, words are vibrations that can affect the surrounding reality. Let's remember ancient mantras, prayers, incantations. Their structure was always based on the repetition of certain words and phrases aimed at attracting the desired or protection from adversity. Modern affirmations are also a kind of spells, tools for reprogramming our subconscious. They are like spells of gratitude, attracting more positive events and well-being into our lives. So, it turns out that we are continuously creating spells, willingly or unwillingly. Every word we utter is like a magic formula that shapes the surrounding reality. And now, with this knowledge, we can use this power with purpose. From now on, we must choose our words carefully, as if we were casting an effective spell to create the life of our dreams. Nomen, in everyday life, let's consider this process from the perspective of our brain's work, as a reprogramming of reality. Did you know that whenever you utter words, neural connections in the brain are activated? Just as tiny electrical impulses run through the complex labyrinths of our minds to form thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. But what would happen if those connections were constantly reinforced with positive words? You will create a new, more positive reality. Instead of nurturing the weeds of negativity, you will nurture a beautiful garden of positive change. Let's be clear on this point. Imagine, your mind is fertile ground. Anything you sow into it will sprout. What seeds will you choose? The seeds of doubt and anxiety, or the seeds of self-confidence and acceptance? A spoken word is like a seed thrown into the soil. It is bound to sprout. That is why it is important to watch your speech, filling it with creative energy. Often, people grow weeds of limiting beliefs in their inner garden. Phrases like, "It's too hard, choke out the sprouts of opportunity." However, these weeds can be weeded out by replacing them with seeds of positive affirmations. Today is beautiful. I am all-powerful. Every problem has a simple solution. My life is easy and joyful. Affirmations like these nurture faith in yourself and your strength. Even the most confusing task is essentially a series of simple actions. The true obstacles exist only in our minds. In the search for happiness, love, and success, it is important to monitor our thoughts and words. Do we ask ourselves, do I crave happiness? Or am I afraid of being unhappy? Are we open to love, or are we afraid of being alone? Are we ready to act, or do we prefer to stand still? Our thoughts and words are the lens through which we see the world. By carefully observing them, we can change our perception of reality. Each of us has the power to rewrite the script of our lives. The key to transformation is in our words and way of thinking. Consciously choosing words that reflect the desired reality is the first step towards creating the future of your dreams. While most of humanity is in the arms of Morpheus, unaware of its hidden power, you have a chance to awaken and take the reins of your life into your own hands. Start, for example, by taking a close look at your vocabulary, the very words that come out of your mouth every day. A legitimate question arises. If words are really endowed with such power, Why the simple declaration of the phrase, "I am a millionaire," does not turn us into rich people overnight. Let's try to understand this phenomenon by turning to such concepts as neuroplasticity and affirmations. Imagine that you have an old treasure map in your hands. It is clearly written, "The treasure is here," with a brightly colored cross in the middle of a desolate landscape. You, full of hope, arrive at the specified point, but instead of the cherished chest filled with gold, you see only endless sand dunes. Why is the mere presence of the words, "The treasure is here," not a guarantee of finding wealth? Perhaps we should dig deeper, not only figuratively but also literally. This situation resembles the action of the affirmation, "I am a millionaire." It is like a pointer to the desired result, but it is not capable of materializing it. In the case of affirmations, the problem may lie in the fact that your underlying beliefs conflict with the words you say. You say, "I am a millionaire," but the inner voice is convinced that wealth is something unattainable, the lot of the chosen few. This discrepancy between words and beliefs creates an inner conflict, a kind of dissonance. Do you dream of something more? In order for your words to become a truly powerful tool that brings your desires to life, it is necessary that they be imbued with the appropriate way of thinking and backed up by concrete actions. It's not enough to simply declare, "I'm a millionaire." You need to feel this state, to see yourself in this role, to start living in a new way, as if you have already achieved what you want. However, the key condition is the sincerity of your aspiration. The goal should be truly yours, not imposed from the outside. Only then the subconscious mind will become your ally, attracting the right opportunities and resources for the realization of your cherished dream. The phenomenon of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to transform itself under the influence of new thoughts and words, plays a crucial role here. Each repetition of positive affirmations generates new neural connections, gradually forming a new reality. The main thing is regularity and unwavering faith in success. Be renewed in the spirit of your mind, says the Epistle to the Romans. And this process of inner transformation begins with changing your language. As an example, instead of the pessimistic phrase, "I can't afford it," try using the more constructive phrase, "I'm looking for a way to do it." Remember, words are powerful tools that can turn dreams into reality. By combining your thoughts and emotions, you can watch what you say become truly powerful. To comprehend the mechanism of this phenomenon, you should refer to the concept of vibrations, a vibration born of intention. The words we speak are not just a set of sounds, but vibrations that spread outward, affecting everything around us. The water we drink, the plants we grow, the people we interact with or are attracted to, even the food we cook. Imagine how what we say affects every cell in our bodies, our health and overall well-being. And this impact extends beyond just water. Plants that are addressed with affectionate words and classical music show more intense growth and lush blooms than those that are silenced or exposed to harsh speech. The world around us is a living organism, sensitive to our energy, vibrations, and, of course, words. This idea is not new. Knowledge about the magical power of words goes back to ancient times. Let's remember, for example, the famous abracadabra. There is a version that this phrase comes from an Aramaic expression meaning, "I do what I say." This is not just a poetic image. Quantum mechanics really postulates that the observer has an effect on the observed object. The words we utter are a kind of observational act that shapes the reality around us. Many people utter words like magic spells unconsciously, spreading an atmosphere of doubt, anxiety, and uncertainty around them. They are like magicians immersed in a dream, unaware of their powerful force. However, now everyone has a chance to awaken. Formulate your intention out loud. My words make me a healthy, loved, and happy person. Intention is the focused energy of your attention, a kind of vector of your energy. It is the intention that triggers the mechanism of realization of your desires into reality. And what is especially important, it is surprisingly simple. Make it a rule to address with words of love and gratitude to the water you drink, to the food you cook, to the plants you grow, to the people you love. Fill the world around you with positive energy, and this energy will come back to you many times stronger. Linguistic determinism. Let's do a little experiment. Imagine that you are trying to describe to a person who has never tasted strawberries what they taste like. But can these words fully convey the sensory experience of tasting strawberries? Is it possible to imagine an unknowable taste without having the experience of experiencing it? Probably not. Words are like signposts on the map of our consciousness, tools of communication and knowledge transfer, but they cannot fully replace direct experience. And herein lies an important point. The absence of designations for a certain phenomenon or experience in language makes it difficult to identify, comprehend, and analyze it. The perception of the world becomes limited, as if through a clouded glass that hides the richness of the shades of reality. Without a verbal equivalent for a particular feeling, we risk losing it in vague outlines, making it elusive. However, it is important to remember that language is not a cell, but a tool. And like any instrument, it can be mastered to perfection, expanding the boundaries of its lexical arsenal. Turning to new languages, immersion in poetry and literature is a way to expand the horizons of perception. The world appears in more vivid colors, feelings acquire subtlety, and thinking becomes flexible. Language is the key to cognition of oneself and the surrounding reality. And it is in our hands to make this key universal, capable of opening any door. We should not be afraid to experiment with words, to play with their shades, to create our own meanings. Language is not just an instrument of communication, it is an instrument of creating our own reality. It is like a magic prism, refracting the rays of your energy and coloring your life in the colors you choose. And each of us, having mastered this powerful tool, is able to turn our world into a masterpiece. But how do you learn this magic? How to pick up a brush and start painting your destiny? The answer is simple: through the practice of self-programming. Imagine a locked door. Behind it lies everything you dream of: happiness, success, harmony. The key to this door is in your hands. These are your words. But how do you use it? We already know that words are not just sound. They have incredible power to create and destroy. They shape our thoughts, our beliefs, our perception of reality. Conscious use of language is the main key to the coveted door. Start small. Listen to yourself, to your daily words and phrases. Analyze which of them bring you closer to your dream, and which, on the contrary, distances you, creating obstacles on the way. Replace negative attitudes with positive affirmations. For example, instead of saying, "I am afraid of public speaking," start repeating, "I am confident and calmly speak in front of an audience." And don't forget the power of visualization. Draw vivid pictures of what you want in your imagination. Visualize yourself on stage, feeling confident, hearing the applause. The secret of achieving the desired lies in the harmonious combination of positive affirmations and vivid visualization. Repeated repetition of affirmations in combination with the presentation of the desired result creates a powerful synergistic effect, a kind of catalyst for change. Words and images, like two wings, carry your desires directly to the subconscious mind, materializing dreams into reality. Don't put it off for later. Start now. Arm yourself with a notebook and a pen. Write out the negative attitudes you want to transform and formulate positive affirmations. Daily repetition of these affirmations, accompanied by visualization of the desired result, will gradually transform your life. You will be surprised how much the power of words can change the reality around you. If there are difficulties with composing your own affirmations, On the Way to Positive Changes will help you ready-made formulations, presented in specially prepared videos. The link to these resources is available in the description. The power of words is of great importance in shaping our reality. Imagine the following situation. You witnessed a traffic accident. You saw everything with your own eyes. But can the words of others distort your memories of what happened? To understand this question, let's turn to an interesting experiment. Participants in the experiment were shown a videotape of a car accident and then asked what they saw. One group of participants was asked, how fast did the cars hit each other? The other group was asked, at what speed did the cars hit each other? It seems like just one word, so what difference does it make? However, the participants who heard the word collided in the question about the accident estimated the speed of the cars much higher than those who were asked the same question, but with the word collided. Moreover, a week later, the researchers repeated the survey and asked an additional question. Did you see glass shards at the scene of the accident? Amusingly, there was no broken glass, of course. And here's where the fun part starts. People who initially heard the verb crashed were much more likely to remember the non-existent glass than those who heard the more neutral collided. This curious experience vividly illustrates how the vocabulary we use can distort human memory and affect our perception of reality. It turns out that our memories are not a strict record of what happened, but something changeable, constantly adjusted under the influence of new experiences, including linguistic ones. Our subconscious mind, like a sponge, absorbs every word we hear, using them to construct an individual picture of the world. It is amazing how this mental factory works in the background, forming our automatic thoughts and unconscious reactions. Let's understand this amazing mechanism in more detail. Inside, each of us works a relentless thought conveyor, a complex mental factory, which does not stop its activity for a second. It continuously, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, produces thoughts, concepts, beliefs. This is the subconscious generator of our language, which plays a key role in the construction of our reality. The productivity of this factory is staggering. Experts have estimated that the human mind is capable of generating up to 70,000 thoughts daily. A truly fantastic figure. However, there is one important nuance. The lion's share of these thoughts arise spontaneously, based on existing attitudes and beliefs. We are not even aware of their existence, but they imperceptibly influence our emotions, decisions, and actions. A large part of our beliefs are deep programs that operate unnoticed by us. They have been formed over the years, under the influence of words and ideas absorbed from childhood. As the famous psychoanalyst Carl Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will control your life, and you will call it fate." As an illustration, the following example can be given. If, in childhood, a child was constantly told that he or she was inept, this thought could be firmly fixed in his or her subconscious and negatively affect his or her entire future life, even if he or she has long since become an adult. The human consciousness is like an invisible factory, relentlessly producing scenarios of our lives based on the phrases we hear, thoughts that run through our heads, and deeply rooted beliefs. This continuous process can both inspire new accomplishments and inhibit development, dragging us into a maelstrom of doubts. A legitimate question arises: how do words affect our physical state? Let's delve into this fascinating topic. Let's consider the effect of words on the body. Let's recall an experiment involving a traffic accident. Study participants who were asked a question with a certain word not only rated the speed of the cars as higher, but also experienced more intense emotional stress themselves. Their heart rate increased markedly. By saying affirmations like, "I feel great, I'm energized," we trigger the body's production of endorphins, the joy hormones. As a result, we feel better. However, if in the morning we think, "I'm so tired, I can't do anything," the body reacts in a completely different way. Cortisol, the stress hormone, starts to be produced, which suppresses the immune system and worsens our overall health. Thus, the words we say are a kind of biochemical commands that activate certain processes in the body. By choosing the right words, we can improve our health, mood, and even speed up recovery. At the age of 76, Richard Bach survived a severe airplane crash. The numerous surgeries that followed the crash and the disappointing prognosis of doctors almost put a cross on his future life. However, miraculously, the writer found the strength to recover. The key to healing, according to Bach himself, was a life-affirming phrase. "I am the perfect manifestation of perfect love, perfect life. Here and now." Within a year of his accident, he was back to living life to the fullest, taking to the skies once again. Richard Bach shares his incredible experience of coming back to life with readers in his new book, Illusions 2, which is definitely worth reading. Now, let's turn to the next, equally important topic: the seeds of our beliefs. Have you ever wondered how deep the roots of our attitudes and beliefs go? It turns out that the foundation of our worldview is laid in childhood. Words heard from parents, mentors, friends, and the world around us, like invisible threads, weave a unique pattern of our perception of ourselves and reality. And the power of this influence can hardly be overestimated. Children who are regularly supported and praised, who are told of their intellectual abilities, talents, and prospects, are much more likely to grow up to be confident individuals. They will be brave enough to take responsibility for their lives and strive to achieve their goals. But if a child is constantly confronted with criticism, pessimistic predictions, and negative evaluations, this can unfortunately lead to low self-esteem and limiting beliefs that prevent them from reaching their potential. Let's imagine two young artists taking their first steps into the world of paints and brushes. One constantly hears discouraging remarks: "You have no ability to paint, leave this futile venture." The other is addressed words of encouragement: "You have an artistic gift, keep working hard, and you will certainly achieve mastery." Which of them, in your opinion, is more likely to believe in their own strength and achieve recognition? The answer lies on the surface. The eminent psychologist Alfred Adler said, "We create our own destiny based on our own interpretation of what is happening, and the perception of reality is formed in childhood, including under the influence of heard words." That is why it is so important to consciously approach the upbringing of the younger generation and carefully consider the phrases addressed to it. But what to do if in childhood you had to face negative attitudes? Are you destined to carry this burden throughout your life? Of course not. You're able to reshape your thinking by using visualization techniques and positive affirmations. Visualize yourself as successful, joyful, and easily achieving your goals. Regularly recite affirmations that reflect the reality you are striving to create. Start transforming your thoughts and words, and you will notice your life transforming. Let's turn to the external factors that shape our worldview. How does media space construct the reality around us? Imagine, our consciousness is a blank sheet of paper on which new lines, images, thoughts appear every day. Who is the author of these writings? Are we guided by our own beliefs or influenced by others? We exist in an information flow. Mass media, cinema, TV series, literature, all these sources continuously influence our perception of reality. And unfortunately, this influence is not always favorable. We are literally flooded with messages about disasters, acts of violence, diseases, sowing fear, aggression, and despair. Or we are immersed in reading books that reinforce our inner limitations and complexes. All this leaves an indelible imprint on our consciousness, filling it with dark colors and negative attitudes. For example, after watching a news feed overflowing with negative events, you may feel a rush of anxiety, worry, experience fear. Your emotional state deteriorates and the world around you begins to seem more hostile and dangerous. Keep your mind clear by carefully filtering the information you consume. Favor sources that inspire, support, and fill you with positive energy. Instead of watching a suspenseful thriller, choose a motivational movie or a light comedy. Today's media space offers a huge variety of content. Choose what brings you joy and makes you happier. The wise Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius stated, "Our life is what we think about it." Thought, in essence, shapes our reality, and our thoughts, in turn, are the product of the information we consume. So, start right now. Limit the flow of negative news and turn your eyes to inspirational movies, books, and series that promote your personal growth. Now, let's look at how the media uses language to manipulate our minds. The hidden influence of media is a topic that needs special attention. After all, the media is not just a channel of information. It is a powerful tool that shapes public opinion, although it often claims to be neutral. However, media messages can be imbued with a certain emotional charge that influences our perception of what is happening. Headlines, vocabulary, and intonation are all elements of linguistic programming that influence the subconscious mind. As an illustration, consider how the same event can be presented in different interpretations. For example, a group of citizens held a peaceful demonstration, or a crowd of aggressive citizens staged a protest in the square. What emotions do these two descriptions evoke in you? The difference is obviously significant. The mass media use language masterfully to achieve the desired impact on the audience. Like skillful illusionists, they can transform a hero into an anti-hero and vice versa by cleverly manipulating words. And, amazingly, this linguistic magic is working right now, as you are reading these lines. You are under the constant, albeit unconscious influence of linguistic programming by the media. Your worldview, your value system, even your deepest beliefs can all be the result of the hidden influence of the language used by the mass media. Let's take a closer look at the mechanisms of this influence, paying attention to techniques such as framing. Framing can be called one of the key tools in the media arsenal. Imagine you are reading a news story about a protest action. One publication calls it mass riots, another calls it expression of civic position. Do you feel the difference in perception? The same event, presented in different word wrappings, awakens completely different emotions. This is the essence of framing, a linguistic technique that the media use to shape the perception of information by putting it in a certain context. This framework, imposed by language, forms your opinion in advance, even before you have time to analyze the situation for yourself. The media has a powerful toolkit for influencing the audience. By using emotionally colored language, omitting important facts, emphasizing certain details and ignoring others, journalists can elicit predictable reactions ranging from anger and dismay to delight and approval. An example is the coverage of political events. What one publication will present as aggressive reform, another will neutrally call a change in legislation. The essence of what is happening does not change, but the perception of the audience differs significantly. Thus, the press not only reports facts, but also actively shapes public opinion, creating the illusion of objectivity and manipulating perception. Who controls information today controls our understanding of the past. Therefore, it is important to take a conscious approach to information consumption in order to form our own worldview and build a desirable future. So, we have come to the conclusion that the media do not reflect reality, but actively create it. Language becomes a tool to influence the masses, and this clearly defined goal is achieved with enviable consistency. Think for a moment. What kind of reality do you want to create? A universe filled with happiness, harmony, and prosperity, or a world limited by anxiety, doubt, and negativity? The decision is, of course, up to you. The author encourages readers to take responsibility for shaping their own information environment, to become curators of their own mental space. Determine your true aspirations, and fill your mind only with what contributes to their achievement. Books, movies, internet blogs, video channels, all these are powerful tools for shaping your reality. The author recommends unsubscribing from news communities, seeing them as a source of an imposed, rather than your own, picture of the world. Every day, make a conscious choice in favor of content that leads to the realization of your true goals. These goals, according to the author, are inextricably linked to the deepest needs of your soul. They guide you toward the unique experiences for which your soul came into this world. In order to better understand your true needs, the author suggests using the free practice, How I Really Want to Live, which can be found in the Telegram channel, The Way of Positivity. The author expresses confidence in the success of everyone who decides to take this path of self-discovery and conscious formation of their reality.